Subpoenas for Ashton Kutcher and his ex-wife Demi Moore to come to testify in the case against Diddy are on their way, and Ashton Kutcher is allegedly worried how his involvement in the demise of Ashley Ellerin could be used against him. Kutcher seems to be in massive trouble, and with his involvement with the now-defamed Diddy coming to light, it doesn't look like he wants to be in the spotlight. In this video, we look at all the crazy drama involving Ashton Kutcher and his association with Diddy. We also look at how a strong case is being built against the music mogul. More and more victims are coming forth to testify against Diddy, and Hollywood's biggest stars are now terrified as to what could happen to their careers and reputations. Ashton Kutcher and Diddy have been friends for decades. Their relationship is deep enough that Ashton is on tape partying with half-naked women at Diddy's freak-off parties. What makes him even more suspicious, however, is how Ashton always seems to find himself in the company of child molesters. Just last year, Ashton Kutcher was being cancelled for supporting Danny Masterson, a convicted child molester and rapist. By the time Ashton came out in support of Danny, Danny had already been convicted of rape. Everyone was shocked as to why Ashton would call a rapist his role model and mentor. He and his wife, Mila Kunis, did apologize later for their letters in support of Masterson, but the damage was already done. And this isn't the first time that Ashton Kutcher has come under fire for suspicious activities. If you take a look at Ashton's career and how he is now, you'll notice that all of this is a deliberate attempt to walk away from his crimes. There are things that Ashton is trying to hide in his past, and if a subpoena for him to come to testify is issued, Ashton's career could very well end forever. There are reports that this alleged subpoena might already exist, and that's why Ashton hasn't spoken out about anything for so long, despite the rumors coming out against him. Ashton Kutcher has stayed silent, and according to criminal defense attorneys, this is most likely because of what the Fed told Ashton to do. You see, back in 2019, Ashton Kutcher was the suspect in a murder case involving a girl he planned to go out with. The young woman, Ashley Ellerin, was murdered by the boy-next-door killer, Thomas Gargiulo, in 2001. And it was a surprising coincidence that Kutcher was involved. Ashton testified in the murder trial and was later found innocent. But some people say that Ashton's involvement was actually covered up. Chrissy Bixler, one of Danny Masterson's victims, says that on the night of the murder, after Ashton tried to meet up with the victim, he called Danny Masterson and allegedly confessed to his involvement in the crime. Chrissy claims she heard the entire conversation, and she knows that Ashton Kutcher is guilty. As you can see, Kutcher has been involved in several controversies over the years, but let's focus on his involvement with P. Diddy and how things have gotten so bad that it's threatening to ruin his career and reputation. Ashton Kutcher's involvement with Diddy is extremely suspect, and there's obviously something shady going on behind the curtains. Back in 2003, Ashton Kutcher and Diddy even invited 13-year-old Davier Chase to Diddy's MTV afterparty. Interestingly, Diddy is being sued by an unnamed Jane Doe who claims that Diddy raped her at an MTV Awards afterparty back in 2000. But how is Kutcher involved with Diddy and Chase, you might ask? Well, the signs were always there. The pair had met earlier that night when Combs and Kutcher presented Chase with the Best Villain Award for her role as Samara in the horror film directed by Gore Verbinski. While accepting her award, Kutcher hovered over her, telling her she was doing so good, and gently rubbed her shoulder. After the video of Diddy and Chase went viral on the internet, netizens took to social media to call out the disgraced rapper as sick, gross, and disgusting. How did it take this long for Diddy to be arrested? Nobody thought it was odd that he was inviting 13-year-olds to his parties. This was approved and encouraged at the highest levels, wrote one ex-user. At the time, everyone conveniently forgot about Kutcher's involvement. But things are soon changing. With everything that has been coming out against Ashton Kutcher and his connection to alleged rapist Diddy, it makes sense that Ashton would be worried. Even if he didn't do anything, it's still a difficult place to be in. Well, Ashton might not be as innocent as he makes it seem. Ashton Kutcher actually invited Diddy to his company to save children from trafficking. This is a company that has worked with the FBI to stop trafficking, and for them to invite an alleged trafficker is shocking, to say the least. Apart from Diddy, Danny Masterson, and even Ashton's own behaviour, Ashton Kutcher's ex-wife Demi Moore also doesn't have the best track record when it comes to children. A recently resurfaced video shows Demi Moore kissing her former General Hospital co-star Philip Tanzini when he was just 14 years old. The footage, reportedly shot during Tanzini's birthday party in 1982, shows Moore making out with Philip and saying, "I love Philip. He's one of my favourite people," and despite being married at the time to Freddie Moore. To make matters worse, Demi Moore was sexually abused as a child herself. In a recent interview, Demi Moore revealed that her mother actually sold her to a man for $500 and let him sexually assault her. For someone like her to become an abuser herself and get involved with Ashton Kutcher is insane. But over the years, Kutcher has tried to maintain a clean slate. He has stayed out of controversy, but it looks like his dirty past still haunts him to this day. Diddy might even be in contact with Ashton Kutcher in a recently leaked call from the MDC. Diddy can be heard talking to an unnamed party about his facilitators during the call. Diddy appeared to be angry at Ellen for trying to escape to England and not coming out in support of him. A lot of Hollywood A-listers have found themselves in a mess and are now trying to flee the country. There are also reports that Ashton Kutcher is planning to flee to Europe, so Diddy could be trying to stop him. As for Diddy, he's in massive trouble himself. Believe it or not, Diddy's lawyers are also trying to distance themselves from Diddy now that they know that Diddy is done for, and they want to escape the collateral damage from his fall. Anthony Rico, a top death penalty attorney on Diddy's team, has just filed a motion with Judge Aaron Superin, citing his intent to withdraw, claiming that he cannot help Diddy now. Right after Anthony quit, Diddy's legal team filed to suppress the evidence that was recovered during the raid on his Miami mansion. This evidence contains almost all of the freak-off tapes that are in FBI custody, and if the judge agrees to their motion, Diddy could go away. These tapes are the only reason why a lot of his former friends are agreeing to testify against him. They know that they're on the tapes, and they're worried that their dirty secrets will come into the light. It also doesn't come as a surprise that Diddy is suing NBC News for $100 million after they released a documentary detailing his crimes. Diddy wants to send out a statement that he will come after everyone who tries to expose him. Diddy might be behind bars, but his money and power are still there. That, however, isn't stopping some people, and the testimonials against him could eventually send the music mogul behind bars for decades or even a lifetime. Fox News host Jesse Watters also believes that Ashton Kutcher will be called to testify, according to him. Fox News has received credible intel of a possible subpoena being handed out, and, allegedly, Ashton Kutcher has already agreed to testify in the upcoming trial. To make matters even worse for Diddy, the prosecutors just added 2 more victims, along with 4 more years to his criminal indictment. As of right now, there are no reports of who these witnesses might be, but still, one thing is clear. No matter what happens, Diddy's career is over. None of the arguments that Diddy is coming up with are going to work once the jury sees Diddy on tape. 8 of these tapes have already been handed over to the FBI, and hundreds more are being sold on the dark web. As for Ashton Kutcher, his past might finally be catching up with him. Whether he wants to or not, he might soon have to face some tough questions under oath. The connections, the cover-ups, and the disturbing patterns in Hollywood's elite circles are becoming harder to ignore. What do you think? Will Ashton be forced to testify? Is he hiding something deeper? Let's discuss this in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.